You can catch a Cybertruck anywhere on the public roads and stuff like that, right? But that's private property, so you can't be reporting into private property. I understand that you're on the public grounds.
I am, yeah.
Right. And if you want to catch a Cybertruck, you certainly can. You can do that. You can report any of the traffic you want on Portage. You just can't be doing that on the private property where the people are working, right?
But I can see it from public though.
Sorry?
I can see it from public though, right?
You can see it from public, right? But when you're reporting into someone's private property, right? It'd be like if I went to your house and put a camera over your fence and started looking into your yard. That's private property, right?
That would be kind of intrusive.
That would be intrusive, right?
This is a business.
I understand that.
A public business where people come and purchase coffee and donuts, and
I can appreciate that, right?
Yeah.
But like I'm saying, this is private property, right? And if your true intent is like what you said, is to catch a Cybertruck, 100%. I'm not saying you can't record in public. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, not into the private property of these people, right?
So I can face my camera that way.
If you want to go sit on this,
I can face my camera that way.
If you want to go into the public,
I can face my camera that way.
You want to walk down the sidewalk,
but just not this way.
Well, your whole intent is actually just to stand here and record all the traffic going through the drive-through, right? It's a private business.
I want to get the Cybertruck.
100%. And I told you, right? You can do that, just not right there. Does that make sense?
But this is a public easement right of way. This is a public right of way.
Yeah. Is there? What's this like?
Transparency. I'm just here to film in public. That's all.
Right. And have I said that you can't film in public? I just asked you not to film.
Before we even get into this interaction, take a second to understand what you're about to witness, because this is one of those encounters that perfectly captures the tension between citizens' rights and authority gone unchecked. On one side, you have a man standing in public, holding a camera, doing something that courts across North America have repeatedly upheld as legal: filming in public spaces. On the other side, you have a police officer who acknowledges that right, yet slowly begins to redefine it, restrict it, and ultimately threaten enforcement based on his own interpretation. Now here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just about a camera or a Cybertruck. This is about intent, perception, and how quickly a calm conversation can spiral when authority feels challenged. Watch closely, because the officer starts off reasonable, even polite. But as the citizen refuses to comply with a request that may not actually be lawful, you'll start to see the shift. The tone changes. The reasoning tightens. And suddenly, what began as a casual conversation turns into a potential
private property.
Well, then I'm going to have to respectfully say I will decline that request of yours, because I want to catch everyone's reaction to me doing this.
Okay, so now you're causing mischief, right?
No, it's not a mischief.
Because you said now you're looking to garner a reaction from people.
People are wonderful, and it's not right for them to come at me like you are.
How am I coming at you? I've been nothing but respectful.
I haven't approached you or
threat. Yeah,
but even to approach me,
we're in public. I can talk to you, right?
Yeah, but
so
sort of to some degree where I want to be left alone, though.
Just like these people want to be left alone, right? Sir?
Yeah, but there's cameras everywhere. You can't be left alone when you're in public.
Okay, so to your logic, you said you should be left alone when you're in public. These people are also in public, right? You're saying when they get off the yard here.
But I know I can't be left alone. I'm walking on my way here. I was in like at least 50 cameras just to get here.
Okay, but so what are we discussing here? Are you discussing your ability, whether you want to be left alone, or the fact that there's
fact that I can photo in public?
There's cameras.
I can photo in public because.
And you said your intent is to catch a Cybertruck. I understand that, right?
That's the big thing, because they look so ridiculous.
Okay.
I've seen a couple in Winnipeg, but not up close.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, the reactions I get from people are just ridiculous sometimes. And it's like, I want to catch that for my safety. Because if they come and attack me, then I have it on camera.
Who's attacking you?
Oh,
right? You're garnering a response.
I had like an 80-year-old guy give me the finger.
100%. He's allowed to do that, right? He can express
I guess
himself.
So, yeah, but in a way,
and you're intimidating him, right? By videotaping.
How am I intimidating? I'm just standing here.
So then how is he intimidating you? By giving you a reaction. That's what you're looking for on the phone, right?
No. I'm just recording everyone's reaction. It's like fun.
Okay. Well, people, like I said, so if you're trying to garner a reaction from people, right?
That's not my intention. I'm saying I'm recording.
That is what you said. You said your intention was to garner people's reaction because you think it's fun when they react to you when you're videotaping them, right?
Well, if they're going to be acting like that in the public, I'm allowed to record them.
If you're in public, like I said, 100%, you can do so.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with you with your ability to film in public.
And if the people act all silly, then
Okay.
Well, why not catch that on camera?
I'm not saying that you can't record them if they're acting silly at you.
Oh,
But you're saying
for my
that
safety, that's why I'm doing it.
I know, but what you're trying to do is trying to elicit a response, and then you're saying that for your safety you're recording, but the whole reason that there could be any threat to you is a result of people not being appreciated being recorded, which so this is what we call self-imposed jeopardy.
Well, if I'm walking down the street and someone's videoing me, I don't even look at them.
Okay. So if you want to walk down the street, I'm not going to stop you from walking away from here, sir. I'm not going to stop you from walking and videotaping. And I've never prevented you from doing any of that.
No, I understand your whole reason for coming here. People have called and said that they don't want to be recorded in public.
They didn't, and
then maybe put on a mask like I'm sort of, semi-disguising my identity. So maybe they should do that if they don't want to be on camera.
Okay. Well, that's. I mean, but people don't have to wear disguises to feel like they should be able to be free to move around in public. Also, like I said, the Tim Hortons parking lot.
I'm not saying they have to do it. I'm saying if they
is not a public space. It's a private property.
I haven't been on their property. I've been at 7-Eleven. That's it, right here.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not. There wasn't a problem at 7-Eleven, right? The problem was here. Okay.
There's a problem here.
Yeah, there is a problem because people are complaining about it and they're asking you not to do that. So I'm having a conversation with you here, a pretty cordial conversation. I respect that. Yeah, right.
Yep.
I haven't threatened you or done anything to you. I'm just explaining to you what the situation is. I'm asking you to stop filming the people on private property. And I've told you where you can go. Because if you're here for a cyber truck, if that's truly what you're trying to do...
Do you know where they are?
You can walk down Portage. You're going to see way more vehicles walking down Portage than you are going to get through the Tim Hortons drive-through.
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
how many vehicles are going through here? 1 to 30 seconds?
I think I caught about 20.
20 cyber trucks?
No, 20 vehicles.
Okay.
Yep.
And so what do you want to do with that footage?
Nothing.
Nothing. You just want to have it.
My phone ain't even recording.
Matt, whatever you're doing with it, it's like I said, it's your prerogative to record or not record. I'm not taking the phone from you. I'm not telling you to stop recording. I'm just asking you not to record on private property, right? That's it.
I'm not going on the private property, but I can record it from a public right away.
You can record in the public. Is there a reason why you're just trying to be difficult? I'm just asking you not to record the people.
I'm sorry I'm coming off as difficult to standing up for my rights.
What rights am I taking away from you?
Freedom of expression. I'm allowed to photograph anything I can see.
And subtly begin to shift. The officer is clearly trying to frame the situation as reasonable. He's not saying the man can't record. He's just saying where he can and can't point the camera. But here's the critical issue. The cameraman is standing in a public space, and courts have consistently ruled that anything visible from a public vantage point can generally be recorded. What the officer is doing is introducing a concept that sounds logical, privacy of a business, but may not actually apply in the way he's presenting it. Notice how he uses analogies like looking over a fence into someone's yard. That's emotionally persuasive, but legally, it's not the same scenario. A private backyard has a reasonable expectation of privacy. A drive-through at a public-facing business? That's a completely different legal context.
To do that, right? If you're walking by here, like I said, so let's say you're walking by here, and you video.
But my purpose is to catch a cyber truck.
Okay, so there's better places to catch a cyber truck. One, right? We can agree that there's way more vehicles traveling on Portage than there are here. So your ability to catch your cyber truck when you're standing literally right at the corner of Portage anyways, you could literally point your camera the other way and not cause any problems.
See, I'll stand right here and point it. Hopefully a cyber truck will drive by.
But like you said, you were trying to elicit responses and reactions from people.
I said I'm trying to catch the reaction of people because I know they get all flustered. Like, what is it with the camera?
Right, because you're doing that, right?
It's not even on.
But they don't know that.
They
just see you with it.
Well, then
it appears like your video recording.
They have to be educated that I'm allowed to do this.
Yeah, but not towards private property. So like my
that is ridiculous.
They feel it's intrusive. You're pointing it
well,
out.
It's not intrusive, but they're in public.
It is. I don't know if that's recording or not right now. I wouldn't even know that. I just see what I see.
Right.
So they see the same thing. They see you're even telling us you're disguising your identity for some reason.
Because this is ridiculous. I don't want to be out here being seen doing this.
You don't want to be seen out here doing this, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So why is it you don't want to be seen doing this?
Because society deems this as abnormal.
So what is it that you're trying to what is the point you're trying to prove here, sir?
That I'm allowed to do it.
Okay, so are you truly here for looking for a Cybertruck, or are you just here to try to prove a point that you can do this?
I'm hoping to catch a Cybertruck because I told you they just look ridiculous.
This is a turning point. The moment the cameraman says he wants to capture reactions, the officer immediately reframes the situation as mischief. That's a big leap, and it's worth questioning. Is filming people's reactions in public inherently illegal? Or is the officer now shifting from a legal argument to a behavioral one? Because listen carefully, the cameraman isn't threatening anyone, blocking traffic, or physically interfering. He's standing, holding a phone, and observing. Yet the officer begins building a narrative that this behavior could provoke others, and therefore becomes a problem. This introduces a controversial concept often debated in these situations: self-imposed jeopardy. The idea that if your lawful behavior causes others to react negatively, you somehow become responsible for their reaction. But is that how the law actually works? Or is that a justification?
And I hope it's wrapped in a different than the stainless steel, because they should really force people to wrap them. They look so ugly. Yeah, they are.
It's not a great looking vehicle, but again, like, I encourage you by all means to try and capture a Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Just do so on Portage, all right?
Okay, I'll go stand on Portage and hopefully I can catch one.
Yeah, you can go stand on Portage.
Thank you for your unlawful directive to telling me to move over here, but I will. Maybe I should get your name and number.
You're right, and I'm going to get your name. We're having interaction. What's your name, sir?
I go by the abbreviation of B-O-R-D.
You go by the abbreviation B-O-R-D?
Yeah.
That's your last name or first name?
That's just my nickname.
Okay, let's start with your first name then, sir.
I prefer to have that kept private.
Yeah, well, you speak with the police.
Mm-hmm.
So you can start with your first name and your last name.
That's a negative. Sorry, officer.
Okay. Well, then you can move along.
Yeah, I will. I'll go to Portage, like I said.
You can go to Portage and we'll have that. You can go stand over there. But if you're going to continue to point the camera here, we're going to detain you or arrest you for cause disturbance, right? Because you're
philosophical and legal back and forth. The officer is trying to flip the argument, suggesting that if the cameraman feels intimidated by reactions, then his own filming could be seen as intimidating others. It's a clever rhetorical move, but it doesn't necessarily hold up under scrutiny. Filming in public, by itself, is generally protected activity. Feeling uncomfortable about being filmed? That's understandable, but discomfort doesn't automatically translate into illegality. And that's the tension you're seeing play out right now: subjective feelings versus objective law. Also notice how both sides are now talking past each other. The cameraman is focused on rights. The officer is focused on perceived impact. Neither is fully addressing the other's core argument, and that's why this conversation keeps looping instead of resolving.
So I can only focus on Portage, right?
You can focus on Portage as much as you want.
Okay.
Like I said.
I just want to get in the shade here because it's kind of hot, you know? All right, so my unlawful requests are that I cannot film this way.
I'm telling you not to film into a private.
But that's not lawful, though, right?
All right. It is lawful. This is their private property, right? It's the same thing if you enter their property. They
but
can
I never entered their property,
they can
though.
remove you from the property, right?
Yeah, I can't point my video cameras from my house in my neighbor's yard. It's illegal.
Well, why would you do that, though?
There you go. You just answered your own question.
This is public.
No, it's public. I'm not going to stop you. Go ahead. Videotape what
This
you want to
is a
videotape.
business who always rips me off.
Okay,
Every time I go here, they rip me off.
So then don't do business here anymore, sir.
Well, I'm trying to... You're infringing on my rights to film the drive-through of this business.
I'm not infringing
from a public right-of-way.
I'm not infringing on your rights, Matt.
Okay, then I can film.
You said you wanted to catch a Cybertruck. Catch a Cybertruck. If that's what you want to do.
See if I can see one.
If you're doing it this way, you're not trying to film a Cybertruck. You have a very different intent.
Can you disengage from me now, sir?
You can walk away anytime. It's a public place, right?
But I'm free to stay.
So am I, right? Both of us are free to stay.
Okay.
Here it is, the justification shifts again. Now the officer introduces complaints from the public as the reason for intervention. And on the surface, that sounds reasonable, right? If people are uncomfortable or calling the police, shouldn't something be done? Because if simply making people uncomfortable was enough to restrict lawful activity, a lot of protected behaviors wouldn't exist. Protests, filming, even certain forms of speech, they often do make people uncomfortable. That alone doesn't make them illegal. What's happening here is the officer is stacking layers of justification, private property, then mischief, now public complaints. Each one adds pressure, but whether any of them actually meet the legal threshold is another story entirely. This is where viewers need to pay close attention. Is the officer enforcing the law or managing?
You don't mind if I reach in my pocket for a cigarette?
Sure.
Oh, that wasn't an insult. That was the wind, eh?
It was. Accidents happen.
I can reach for a smoke.
Yeah, you're not. We're having a conversation, man. I haven't put you under arrest. You're not. We're having a conversation. And I said,
but it's like when I reach into my pocket, you could feel like a threat or something.
I haven't detained you. I haven't done anything, man. I have a conversation with you so far, right? That's where we're at.
How long is this conversation going to take place?
I'm standing here. You're free to go whenever you want. I said right from the beginning, you could walk down that way if you want to go. You can go wherever you want to go. No one's stopping you. You're not welcome on the Tim Hortons property.
Why? Why am I trespassing?